NSA architect agency has all of Clinton's deleted emails. Well, of course they do. And then he goes over the fact that he set up the program. Well, don't you know the Democrats have copies as well? Julian Assange hacked emails include info on Hillary's arming of jihadists, including ISIS in Syria. And the Russians are getting ready to release them. Jihadis shot a Russian helicopter down today. The Clinton Foundation, state and Kremlin connections. Even the Wall Street Journal is saying, how dare Hillary come out with no evidence and say that Trump has some connection to the Russians when Hillary's been involved transferring uranium and high-tech chips. See, that's because they want war in the future. Hillary is in there with all the different parties engaged in every form of treason you can imagine at her foundation, getting hundreds of millions of dollars, $30+ million in one payment. Directly with Vladimir Putin getting technology. It was Hillary and it was Bill that helped transfer the nuclear reactors to North Korea, which were the type to make A-bombs and don't even work as well. Destabilizing the world again. I mean, you talk about evil, and then she gets up there and goes, oh, I'm going to stabilize the world. And Bill Clinton says, you send her into an area, a country, a place in crisis, everything just gets better. This woman fixes things better than anybody I've ever seen. The crowd's, I mean, she shows up and everything basically blows up and burns down on purpose. She said, oh, I guess we did make Libya a failed state. That was the plan to begin with because it was stabilizing all of Africa. Muammar Gaddafi was actually investing all over Africa, tapping aquifers, putting in plants, building factories. He lived in a tent behind a 10-foot wall. I mean, I'm not saying he's perfect, but if you're going to have a philosopher king, the guy gave like 99% of the money from the oil directly to the people. They went and blew that up and put Al-Qaeda in charge, also known as ISIS. Oh, I said I just read the headlines. See, I can't. Oh, so the Clinton Foundation, state and Kremlin connections. Report Hillary Clinton campaign manager John Podesta sat on board of company that bagged $35 million from Putin, connected Russian fund. That doesn't matter. New York Post runs more naked photos of Trump's supermodel wife. That's what supermodels do, is pose with their tops off. You know, you got all over the world paintings of women with their tops off. You've got sculptures of it. It's called appreciating the finer things that God has given us. That's one I have first lady. I mean, that is awesome. Not some stuck-up weird communist or some other freakazoid. So we've got that. Now, I'm not even going into this, just whatever the top story is. I'm just giving you what I sit here and look at. It's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Here's the economy stack. 7 years later, recovery remains the weakest of the post-World War II era because it's fake, and that's with fake numbers, as I said earlier. I mean, we're talking 2-3 point negative. That is a roaring depression. But see, they selectively pick the winners now in the economy. If you're the right family, the right group, the right globalist organization, the right political vent. Fragile U.S. economy, this is Bloomberg, now facing a slowdown in building boom. And that was only a fake building boom because they gave the elite banks free money by the trillions, nobody else. That's why you saw buildings being built everywhere for you, the new renter class, that it's never going to own. And you're going to pay, on average in Austin, $3,000 a month for a 250 square foot apartment. Just a few years ago, you'd pay that for in a nice area of town for a 2,000 square foot. Not anymore. It's trendy where you pay more for less. To the guys that fly jumbo jets and have jet copters and 50 mistresses. But they told you it was cute to be poor. Oil giant Exxon profits crash 59% to 17-year low. Texas shale oil has fought Saudi Arabia to a standstill. London Telegraph. Italy's oldest bank gets €5 billion rescue. But boy, it's a great economy. Look at this little juicy up on Infowars.com. We saw this a couple times in Germany lately, but now it's in London. Authorities cover up London car bomb attack. That the police admitted, no, it was a real bomb. They were able to defuse it, but... I love this new thing from the left, the controlled left. They're running around now calling themselves conspiracy theorists, writing articles that Jones is sold out. Jones always said Muslim attacks were false flags and fake. And now he says they're all real. Jones is a right-winger. Jones is blah, blah, blah. No, what I am is a patriot, I tell the truth. When the FBI gets caught getting a mentally ill person and trying to get him to blow up a Christmas tree in Portland, Oregon, the Christmas tree lighting, and it turns out that he had no jihadi connections, and they went and found a mentally ill person and got him to try to go do it, that is an attempt to get funding. And that's a false flag, and we talk about it at nauseum. And there's a bunch of those. A new phase has begun where the false flag is the globalists are letting in 5 million in Europe and who knows how many here. Real jihadis, 80% military-age men, and they're attacking, and they're killing. And then they take our rights and start Islamic training in schools to make us conform with them to go along with it. That's the next phase. That's what's going on. So see, the strategies change, the globalist operations change, and I get up here and I explain what's going on. And world leaders listen, and all the major intelligence agencies listen, and the Pentagon listens, and everybody else listens. I'm not bragging, it's a fact, because I know what I'm talking about. Because I come from a smart family with good genetics that are smart and have always been involved in stuff like this. Now, you go suck your thumbs and talk to mommy. Now, continuing. There's a real program to flood the West with jihadists. They're flooding Russia with them. They're attacking. It's real. It's real when 200,000+ Christians get killed by jihadist forces brought in to Syria by Hillary Rodham Clinton. It's in the stinking emails. We told you it was coming beforehand. We were against killing the 100,000+ moderate Muslims, and that's what they were in Libya. We were against the Iraq war because those were moderate Muslims being taken down by Saudi Arabia and the globalists. The globalists are running the Wahhabist jihad death cult, and it's taking over all of Islam, and they're murdering 10-to-1 Muslims that they kill, Westerners or Christians, and I'm against that. There are a lot of Muslims that don't want to be in the most radical extreme version of it, but I want to explain something. The radical extreme version of Wahhabism is taking over the dominant form of Islam, the Sunnis. It's a fact. So learn the names of the groups, learn the history. Do you know the history of Saudi Arabia? So-called leftists out there that says, ISIS, that's the group that has nothing to do with Islam. You're an idiot. All right, we're going to come back, get into the exclusive NSA Architect Agency has all of Clinton's deleted emails. And then we've got huge election news, huge Olympics news, and more. Stay with me. We have ended the big mega sale. Now, we have kept 3 items, though, this week. That's Brain Force, while supplies last, the amazing nootropic, for $17.76, normally $29. Leading competitors that have similar formulas are $60 to $70 to $80. That's 40% off. DNA Force, our flagship product. It's a big deal to offer 30% off on that. We're extending that. And then Vitamin Mineral Fusion, all the vitamins, all the minerals, the amino acids, the cofactors to help upload it. Great tasting fruit punch. InfoWarsLife.com, that's 30% off. But I'm going to go further. Boom, here it is. Normally you sign up for auto ship, you get 10% off. You still get that on top of it. I'm doing free shipping on everything. Whether it's one Hillary for prison shirt or a Bill Clinton rape shirt or whatever it is, whatever informational warfare weapon you want to help spread the word and meet like-minded people, free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide. So I want to thank you all for your support, your prayers, and so much more. NSA Architect Agency has all of Clinton's deleted emails. Well, of course they do. And then he goes over the fact that he set up the program. Well, don't you know the Democrats have copies as well? Julian Assange hacked emails include info on Hillary's arming of jihadists, including ISIS in Syria. And the Russians are getting ready to release them. Jihadis shot a Russian helicopter down today. The Clinton Foundation, state and Kremlin connections. Even the Wall Street Journal is saying, how dare Hillary come out with no evidence and say that Trump has some connection to the Russians when Hillary's been involved transferring uranium and high-tech chips. See, that's because they want war in the future. Hillary is in there with all the different parties engaged in every form of treason you can imagine at her foundation, getting hundreds of millions of dollars, $30+ million in one payment. Directly with Vladimir Putin getting technology.